Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free. And it's 100% ridiculously easy to use. We find it really convenient for Night Moves Radio and our Cloverleaf Radio network. We record when it's best for us, and best of all, we can record on the go or at home. With this easy app, it makes doing our show so much fun and very easy. Anyone wanting to start a podcast? I suggest using Anchor. Perhaps it'd be a great starting point for you.
That was good to me.
Alrighty, we are back for another exciting edition of COVIDleaf Radio. I'm the host with the most, the king of the quarantine, Jimmy Falcon. By golly, do we have a man here today. It's an absolute honor to welcome actor, stuntman, and seems like an all-around good guy from the talks we've had. Ed Gale, how's it going, Ed?
Doing good.
I hope you're navigating our crazy world as good as you can right now. It's been hard on everybody.
I never leave the house. I have the benefit of being retired.
Okay, well, that's
2000. Good. And I think I left the house 5 times in the last year.
Oh, wow. So you were doing your own kind of social distancing before it became the normal.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
oh.
I have terminal lung disease.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. Something I developed after I retired. So I had one good year of retirement.
Oh gosh.
And I had a near fatal seizure.
Oh gosh.
In 2010. And then in 2014, I began having lung collapses.
Oh gosh. Well,
everybody's happy, you know.
Yeah, I understand. It's not good in the world, but really, if you have underlying health issues and stuff, I understand. But let's get started with some good stuff. Of course. Well, I live in Illinois, which isn't very far from where you grew up, and we're from Michigan. I've only been there once, but I really enjoyed it. What prompted you to leave your small town of Plainwell and go all the way to the big California to become, as you said, a steady working actor, but not a star?
Have you been to a small town in Michigan?
I have been to Detroit, but I myself live in a town of 500 people in Illinois, so I get the small town vibe.
Okay, there you go. Now you know why I'm leaving. Why I left, I mean. I needed a big town, a big city. I needed Hollywood. You can't become an actor in a little town in Michigan or...
Right.
You know.
Well, of course, your first role was a now iconic character, but it was kind of, I guess, beginning new there. So, I mean, I guess it was the books and stuff. But Howard the Duck, and you were surprised to be originally told you were too tall to perform Howard. What made you win them over, and what was the experience like being a fresh actor?
Well, to answer your first question, they contacted me, and your second question, you can only ask one question at a time. I get confused.
I'm sorry, these were just how I sent them to you, sir. I will try to change it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then, I lost you.
Howard the Duck.
What was your question?
We were on
that, but being the character.
Well, what was it like? Yeah, getting to jump in such a feature-length film, being that this was your first experience as an actor.
Everyone I talk to, they say that I just got lucky, and of course I did. Everybody does.
Right.
Talent doesn't get you anywhere until you've proven yourself. And so what a better way to start out than in a costume, in a film where I have the power of the cut and start again. You don't get that with live theater or live television,
Okay.
So I was broken in, the much easier way. And, we had rehearsal and shooting it again. And it was a 10-week contract. We shot for 10 months. So.
Wow.
That'll put you over budget.
Yeah, I would say so, especially back in the day when they didn't have the ability to make it all on a computer. You actually had to get out and do the footwork yourself.
Exactly.
And
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
I learned from that and took that knowledge that I got from Leah Thompson, who taught me so much.
Wow.
And Jeff Jones taught me the most. And, the director.
Yeah, she is such a fantastic actress. I'm sure she was great to be able to be next to when you were so fresh in the industry.
Oh, yeah, and every time I see her, she looks the same age.
She does not age, you're right. She looks beautiful.
She has 2 girls in college.
Oh, wow.
And I think one is directing. Yeah, so that's my girl. She's always had my back, and
that's awesome.
Always things, and then I took off on my own, and as they say, the rest is history.
Well, I bring up my third question. I bring up professional wrestling. That was how I guess I fit into the question. TV stuntmen, professional wrestlers, and football players have to be 3 of the toughest jobs someone can have on the body. Being that you have been ran over, your whole body set on fire, thrown through a moving car, etc., what was the most dangerous or most painful?
Most dangerous are the ones that I've turned down. In the little mini airplane in Howard the Duck, I refused. They put me in that plane, and they said they were going to do a loop-de-loop. And I said, yeah. Okay.
Nope.
No. And so they hired stunt doubles for that. The other stuff on the ground where it's harder for them to find a stunt double to match, exact height and weight and body shape and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be fun to do it myself, but the directors and the producers didn't like it, but they didn't have much of a choice either. And, I just wanted to go for it because I was taught early that every film could be your last. So do everything you can in that film, to make your mark. So I did, I was able to do the 18-wheeler and the body burns later on in Child's Play. And
of course...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Of course, since you brought up, we kind of got into Chucky there. I was wanting to ask, of course, portraying Chucky as a stunt double in 3 films, Child's Play 2, and Bride of Chucky, being the only person not voicing, puppeteering, or appearing in human form to play this iconic character. Now, looking back, do you have a particular story from any of those films that stands out in your mind?
Other than the fact I played Chucky, I wasn't his stunt double. It was...
Okay, well, I misread it. I'm sorry. I was...
listing me as stunt double was the producer's way of discrediting me and paying less, residuals, which didn't work. They ended up paying a fine and paying me my residuals.
Wow. Yeah,
people get a lot in this, and that's another one of the reasons I just walked away. I didn't have any formal introduction when I got into the business. Fanfare.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say Ed Gale is here, And so I wanted no fanfare getting out. I just walked away, no announcement. And it was like the last day of work was like my first. They were just as surprised that I had an agent. They were just as surprised that I would even get paid residuals. So I said, I've been in the business 24 years, and you think I don't know any of this shit? But, I've walked away. And I've had an unhealthy retirement. So I do believe in voodoo dolls. But I've had a wonderful retirement at the same time. And I had a wonderful career. And a horrible career. A horrible career filled with wonderful experiences.
I can relate to that. And I think I'm only 31, but I'm 6'4". I weigh close to 300 pounds. My knees are already giving out on me. I feel like it doesn't matter if you're too big, too small. You just need to be in the middle somewhere to have a long life. And being in pro wrestling really messed up my knees and stuff. I mean, you put your body through more than it's supposed to go through. You doing the stunt double stuff, and I'm sure it was a lot harder on you than if you had just had a mundane 9-to-5 normal job.
In some cases, yes. Some cases, no. Because even in a regular job, in a regular life, maybe a wife and 2 kids, it would exert twice the energy to walk half the distance of you.
This is true. That you made a fantastic point.
It's just, and there are over 200 types of dwarfism, and
wow.
Don't take your podcast in that direction.
No, you're fine. The point I didn't mean to upset you or anything. The point I was getting to was, I had a real quick entrance into pro wrestling. I did it 3 years, and I got out just as quick, and no one ever thought I should have been there. I still hear people tell me I shouldn't have been there, and I don't give a shit.
Oh, right, yeah, and you shouldn't be standing in front of me right now. Bye-bye.
That's
what you didn't belong there. You don't belong in front of me right now. Goodbye. That's what you tell them.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're all humans, no matter what we look like. But I'd love to get to my last question because we're almost out of time. I appreciate you so very much for joining me, Ed. I'm sure you're busy. I'm sure everyone emails you for interviews. I thank you for giving me the time. I fondly remember your unmasked work from a couple of things. Of course, it's still popular. My name is Earl, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And even though you kind of said you preferred the masked stuff more, was there any unmasked parts, I guess, that stood out of those roles?
Baywatch, definitely, was a favorite of mine because the cast was wonderful, the art was wonderful.
Wow.
Had a lot of poignant meaning. But I say I like mask better because it just gives you such a challenge. I mean, I've played many, many, many characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to play a bank robber, there's a lot of rules.
Right.
You've got to pull out a gun or a knife, and you got to hand over the note, and you got to take the money and run.
Do the job and get out.
Right? But what are the rules to playing a duck? There are rules, actually, because he was a comic book character, and I never knew that until we started shooting. But a lot of these mythical characters, there's no rules to playing a ventriloquist dummy who's possessed by evil and playing a killer doll.
Right. Twice, technically.
Twice. Yep. Chucky and actually, I used to laugh that I want to meet. Oh crap! I just dropped her name. She's her life on the D list. She said she has her career is a D-list actress.
Wow.